This is Charlie Parsons for Fight Hub TV. Delighted to be joined here in Jeddah, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, with veteran trainer Manny Robles. Manny, first things first, how are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let's talk first things first. Ramla Ali, your fighter on this card, she makes history. She's the first female boxer to fight in Saudi Arabia. Saw a brilliant post from Matchroom this week saying, don't be scared to be the first person to do it. You've been in camp with Ramla. Obviously, coming into Saudi, you would have done it before. I don't know if Ramla's been here before, but how has she found this experience? Because that's a big pressure on her shoulders.
100%. First of all, she's super excited to be here. We're all excited to be here as a team, and it's always nice to come back to Saudi Arabia. Listen, she's ready to go. She's 100%. She's mentally, physically in shape, and very excited for this opportunity.
Let's talk about the main event. We have the colossal rematch being branded as Rage on the Red Sea. Oleksandr Usyk takes on Anthony Joshua again for the Unified Heavyweight Championship of the world. Last time out, Oleksandr Usyk, a more or less faultless performance. This time round, a lot of people talking about Anthony Joshua bulking up, going for the stoppage. Eddie Hearn mentioned rounds 1 to 6. Just your first thoughts on what we've seen so far in the week and how you expect the fight to play out come Saturday night?
Oh man, I expect a great fight, just like the first fight. I see, well, obviously, with Joshua now working with Ryan Garcia, I think that's a great move, and I really believe that they're gonna come, with a great game plan, and you'll see a different Joshua come Saturday night.
Do you expect Joshua to win by knockout?
Yeah, I expect Joshua to win by. Well, it's hard to say, but if I had to pick someone, I would pick Joshua. Well, obviously, I'm a big fan of Anthony Joshua. I've always been, although we faced him in the past on a couple of occasions, I've always been a big Joshua fan, and I believe he's got what it takes to become a world champion again, whether that be by knockout or by decision.
Do you believe Robert Garcia can offer Anthony Joshua that perhaps he didn't have in the first fight? A lot of people, there was a lot of criticism on his on the corner of Anthony Joshua in the first fight, saying that it wasn't urgent enough. That some of the rounds they were saying that he won, but they weren't clear. When he was in fact losing them. Do you think Robert Garcia will be able to give him that bit more oomph, that bit more momentum when he's fighting? Maybe sit down on his shots a little bit more.
Absolutely, and I think that's why they brought him in. He's got a. Now he's a challenger. He's not the world champion anymore, so Joshua's got to have a sense of urgency this time around. He's got to be more aggressive, as he should have been in the first fight. I said it myself. I thought so after the fight. I analyzed the fighter, and I thought, hey, listen, he's a bigger, stronger fighter of the two. I would have asked him to be more aggressive and to walk his opponent down, and I believe that's what you'll see the second time around.
Vasily Lomachenko makes a ring return after obviously the saga that has gone on in Ukraine. Bob Arum said that he will now be fighting Jermaine Ortiz, who just come off a win against former world champion Jamel Herring. Just your thoughts on that comeback fight for Lomachenko?
Oh, well, what can I say about Lomachenko? He's one of a kind. He's a great fighter. He's one of the time for fighters that only come once in a decade. So once every decade. So I'm a big fan of Lomachenko, and I'm eager to see him come back and see him in the ring again.
Obviously, Devin Haney has a contractual rematch with George Kambosos for the second fight, but providing he comes through that and Lomachenko comes through this fight with Ortiz, Bob Arum said he looks to make Lomachenko against Devin Haney for undisputed. An absolutely fantastic fight. I imagine being held in Vegas or somewhere. How do you expect that fight to play out? Obviously, Devin, the younger, fresher guy, but you can never write off someone like Lomachenko.
Absolutely, man. It's a boxing fan's dream to see a fight of that magnitude, and if you're a boxing purist, you'll be able to enjoy a fight between Lomachenko and Devin Haney. They're two great boxers, master boxers. Here you have a former Olympian, former gold medalist, world champion in the amateurs, and obviously a former world champion in professional boxing. And here you have in Lomachenko, and then you have someone like Devin Haney, the younger fighter, the hungry fighter, the undisputed champion. And the current undisputed champion, and that's what Lomachenko was. So I'm sure he's eager to get them belts back.
If I had to squeeze you and make you pick a winner, who would you choose in that fight?
Based on experience, you would have to pick Lomachenko, obviously, but then you have a fighter in Devin Haney that's hungry, and that's he wants to stick around for a while. He wants to make his presence felt, and I just think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight.
And Just finally from me, obviously the colossal lightweight division that we're speaking about, we see a lot of back and forth at the minute between Ryan Garcia and Tank Gervonta Davis. Just first things first, I'm not sure if you've seen, but just if I could get a reaction to Gervonta Davis's comments on Adrian Broner pulling out due to his mental health, I think labelling him a bitch. Just your reaction to that?
Well, look, man, I can't sit here and talk about nobody. I don't know what the issue really is with Adrian Broner. You know, he's a good friend of mine. I have nothing but the utmost respect for him, and I'm sure he's going through some trouble. And it's hard to sit here and judge anyone. You know what I mean? Unless you're there, unless you really know what's going on. So I'm not going to sit here and judge someone, especially someone like Adrian Broner. You know, he's a character, yes, but I believe this is a serious matter, and this is something that we as a boxing community should be able to support fighters that are going through such issues.
Just finally, a lot of back and forth between Ryan and Tank. A fight that we maybe see cross-platform pay-per-view sometime this year or early next year. If I were to squeeze you once again to pick a winner in that fight, obviously we know both carry tremendous power in both hands.
I would have to pick the world champion just because he's the more experienced fighter of the two. Ryan Garcia hasn't been there yet. He hasn't fought anyone like the likes of help me.
So obviously on the night, is there anyone that you're going to bring?
In terms of Tank's opponents?
Yes, exactly. Ryan Garcia hasn't fought anyone with the likes of, a real champion or anybody at that level. I mean, I have nothing but respect for Ryan Garcia. I think he's a great fighter himself. I just don't. If I had to pick one, obviously, I would have to pick Tank.
Well, Manny, thank you very much for your time. All the best this week, and hope to catch up again. Thank you.